Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about how training works. So at the end of this video you hopefully have a better understanding how you go about your training and how you should think about your training. As human beings, essentially what we are is we're an organism that adapts to their environment. What this means is that whatever stimuli we throw at our bodies respond in a certain way. The beauty about being a human being is that we have the brain capacity to alter our environment. So how can we make use of this in training? What training in essence is we throw a stimulus at our body that is intense enough that it needs to adapt in a certain way. A very important principle that comes into play when training is the principle of specificity. You probably have heard people say, yeah, you need to confuse your body and you need to throw all sorts of training concepts at it so that it adapts maximally. But what that simply does, it doesn't allow the best adaptations possible, because the body always adapts to a specific stimulus that you throw at it, as we talked about. Meaning that if you try to run a marathon on day 1 and do a strength or power training session at day 2, you're gonna get the worst of both worlds because you can't properly adapt to one or the other. So what you should try to do in training, find a specific sort of stimulus, meaning your goal, and you need to train for that stimulus to get better at this sort of stimulus. So what should we try to do in training if our goal is to try to get bigger and stronger? We can use research as a guideline, and what we have found is that training volume seems to be the most important driver for muscle hypertrophy, meaning if you want to get bigger. So what does this mean? What is volume? It sounds very abstract. You can think of volume as sort of work being done. By work, in this case, it means physical work being done. As an example, if you can lift 50 pounds for 10 reps, that's a lot more work than 20 pounds for the same amount of reps. And so the sweet spot seems to be to use weights, to use a force that you can lift for about 6 to 15 times on average. You go into the gym, lift a certain amount of weight, that sets hopefully enough of a stimulus for your body to recover from the stimulus and to grow a little bit stronger. The next time you step in the gym, you should do a little bit more work than the time before, by the concept of progressive overload, which I'm sure you've heard of. And by this process, which is very specific and very boring, you should try to become stronger in a certain very specific way. And don't try to confuse your body by throwing all sorts of different stuff at it. Yeah. So those were the basics of how training adaptations work, and in the next videos we're going to talk about how stress and other lifestyle factors impact the way you can recover and adapt to training. If you have enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to, and see you in the next video.